It's 2024. I cannot believe it.
I cannot see anything.
No,
so
these glasses are not ideal for looking
I'm
at
going to take them off.
details of cheese here in a moment. But they do get the spirit just perfectly. It is January 2024.
Ow. I'm Kendall.
And I'm John.
We are the Antonellis of Antonelli's Cheese Shop. Many of you know us and who have been in our cheese club for 14 years now. Woo-hoo. Some of you may be brand new. Somebody gifted this to you for the holidays, or you saw it and signed up yourself. So thank you. Please, at the end of your tasting, let us know what you loved or didn't and spread the word. We want to grow our cheese club program. And it's just a fun way for us to bring some of our favorite bites to you.
Yeah.
So
this is one of my joys each month, is getting to see the cheeses in front of us, taste the cheeses.
our kids' joy is us bringing home the leftovers and then eating it all. Okay, so let's jump right to it. I told you may not get to talk today because I'm super passionate about this thing. The theme this month, first time ever, is I resolve to eat all the cheese.
All of the cheese.
So before some of you roll your eyes at us for that whole I'm anti-resolution. I am like in support of that movement. I think it's like, why do we have to be an all new, better us? Like why?
Just
and it's
for
like
30
this
days.
hustle culture, and why can't we just be proud of who we are and maybe instead think about setting intentions for the year? So just so you know, I don't want to trigger anybody on the whole resolution thing. I think though what is hard for us as a cheese shop is so many people follow fad diets and all of a sudden they're like, oh, I'm not eating any cheese for January because I resolved to get healthy. So I'm excited to say that cheese is part of a healthy lifestyle. In fact, if you go check out our cheese blog, we have a whole article on it, on some of the research that we have concluded.
Yep.
I have not concluded anything and I have done no research. I have gone and
Source
researched
some
the research.
information,
Yes,
yeah.
because we're not doctors, but we are certified cheese professionals. So some quick tips just in case you're wondering on how and why cheese is healthy. It's considered almost a near perfect food. And why is that? Cheese has fats, proteins, and nutrients, both vitamins and minerals, almost everything you need for your body to survive and function and thrive. You just need some vegetables to help
Move it
process.
through the system.
Yes.
Yeah.
So cheese when combined with vegetables, aka put out a cheese board, that is a perfect food and you could live on that indefinitely. Some other notes, when we talk about cheese being healthy, we're also not talking about like Velveeta, okay? And we like to say Velveeta in our house.
Yep,
Pinkies
Velveeta.
up. We're from Texas. Velveeta makes a mean queso, which if you're not from here is just like a Tex-Mex cheese dip. So there's a time and place for
Email
everything.
us for the recipe if you need it. It's fantastic.
We don't sell it at Antonelli's Cheese. Our goal is to support smaller artisanal farmers and producers. But when we talk about that kind of cheese, that often has hydrogenated oils and cornstarch. Oh, did you know when you buy shredded cheese at the grocery store, what is that? What's added to it?
Oh gosh.
Wood. It's like wood sawdust or something.
Yeah, there's some stuff. Wood pulp is what it was called
Yes.
at the time. So certain ones.
Which, hey, moms on the go, I have also occasionally purchased that shredded
Yes, of
Mexican
course.
blend. So we're saying we're not too good for it, but just know those aren't the types of cheeses that we're talking about when we talk about good health. Those have things added to them. But if you're talking about artisanal, handcrafted, salt plus milk plus cultures plus thyme, that's the ingredient of real artisanal cheese, then so many health benefits.
So what are some of those? So my one of the stories that I like the most is my great-grandfather used to eat caciocavallo before bedtime, after dinner every night, as a way to protect his teeth. And so one of the things that cheese creates this big salivary response. You get a big rush of saliva. That actually cleanses your teeth in a really wonderful way and helps strengthen the enamel and such. And so that's just one of my favorite stories about how cheese can impact your health in a positive way. What are some of the other ones?
And it shouldn't make him more or less legitimate, but John is 50% Italian, 50% German. And was this your German grandfather or your Italian
This was
grandfather?
my Italian grandfather.
I was going with that guess,
Yeah.
but it might have been stereotyping.
Caciocavallo.
It's good for heart health. Many cheeses, certain cheeses are good in the essential fats that you need in your diet. We often hear about it for those healthy omega-3s that are in fish and in avocados. So some of those same ones are found in certain cheeses. That's an important thing. So for heart health, and that whole, we thought we weren't supposed to eat fat. It's like, oh no, we are supposed to eat fat, but healthy fats. And certain cheeses can also aid in increasing the healthy cholesterol, not the bad one. You know about the cholesterol's better.
It's fantastic. Yeah, well, it can increase HDL, and that can help offset the LDL. So there's some benefits to that.
PDL, MLL.
Yeah, you're just gonna start throwing things together.
Okay,
Then our
so-
daughter this week and a half ago broke her arm, and so we've been encouraging her to eat a lot more cheese so that she can aid in the calcium enrichment, which this is a ton of really high quality, easy, accessible calcium in it for her arm to grow back stronger and better.
Yeah, and fun note, she could really drink a lot more milk to get more vitamin D to then help absorb all that calcium.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's so fun.
All right. So let's talk about these cheeses now that we brought it on for.
There was one other cool one, which was protein absorption, and so hey, you said you weren't going to let me talk, and here I am. But protein absorption, a lot of these more aged cheeses, the proteins have already been broken down from their more complex structure to their amino acid level. And so these amino acids actually get into your bloodstream within 45 minutes rather than some protein sources that take 3 to 4 hours to digest. So
that was like very sciencey. I like to say it's one of the quickest digestible ways to get soluble protein into your diet. So when you think of like all those health bars that we go buy, like fully loaded with a bazillion grams of protein and this and that. Cheese, especially aged cheeses, the proteins in those cheeses have already broken down over time. And so by the time, it feels contrary to belief, but when you put a hard cheese in your mouth, all the proteins are already broken down that you can super quickly digest it. In fact, you have a fun anecdote.
I just say that I like to say that Italian Olympians use this as their primary protein bar.
Yes.
Right after a good workout.
There's a marathon that always comes by our cheese shop, and John is like, one year we're going to stand out and hand out parm chops.
He
I don't
didn't
know who's
accept it.
good. So we've also had friends in Italian hospitals who are given Parmigiano Reggiano and Grana Padano, I think, as a protein source. Okay.
All right, now into the cheese.
So there's so many more health benefits. Please go read the blog, research it, look it up yourself. But just the whole point of it is to say, don't throw the cheese out with this new healthy or intentional lifestyle that you may be living. Or rather, I like to say, you can have your cheese and eat it too. So our first cheese today, CKC Chocolate Orange Chev. This one is a special for us. We created it with Chrissy Grundy. She was Chrissy Omo when she was younger, and it is now, we created it for our anniversary.
Yep.
We're coming up February 11th is our 14th anniversary.
Woo-hoo.
So this is her fresh Chev. Chev just means goat. Goat's milk cheese is tangy, it's bright, it's minerally, so you should get all those flavor profiles. But then there's an added sweetness into this with little bits of chocolate, which by the way is healthy, rich in antioxidants, and then that orange zest. So for me, this is like if you're trying to abstain from some sugars or desserts, just eating this on a spoon, on breakfast toast, on bagels, on orange slices. I would actually pick this up and put it on a piece of chocolate and eat it that way. Okay.
And what makes fun goat cheese fun this time of year is that the milk is actually much thicker, richer, because there's less water in the animal's diet, and so you're getting this sort of really rounded, rich, intense, beautiful, like vivacious flavor profile.
I'm not supposed to eat that one, but I really want to right now.
Yeah, it looks like ice cream melting.
CKC Farms is local to Austin. They're in Blanco. CKC stands for Chrissy, Kenneth, and Connor. Chrissy went to Europe, fell in love and got inspired, came back and started making goat's milk cheeses before she ever graduated high school.
At 16, right?
Yeah, and now she's not 16 anymore. She's closer to our age, even though I still call her a 16-year-old. And so we've gotten to be a part of their story. Their farmstead, they have La Mancha Alpine and Saanen goats. Breed type does impact the flavor of a cheese. So it's an important note, and that they have their own goats and make their own cheese from it.
It's wonderful out in Blanco. We appreciate. We've been working with them for 14 years now, and just grateful for the relationship.
When I was writing the menu that you get with your cheese club, I found some conflicting advice, and so I reached out to her. I think on like the day after Christmas, and I was like, "I'm about to freak out. Can you confirm what goat milk type this is?" And then I was like, I'm right.
Yeah,
I feel right about myself.
Fantastic.
This, always going from youngest to most aged and or most assertive in flavor, this is the cheese you're going to want to consume the quickest. This is not going to last a long time in your fridge. So if you can't do it all at once, start with the CKC Fresh Chev.
And definitely we recommend pairing it with this Naya, this beautiful Spanish white wine. It's very bright and got a good acid, which plays well with the very sort of richness of this chocolate goat cheese.
Yeah, and it's the Verdejo grape from the Rueda region, which we got to go visit a couple years ago. So, by the way, the 2 wines we selected are actually going to go beautifully with all of them. That's always our trick, is hopefully everything works well together, but definitely this Naya Verdejo.
Yeah.
Okay, cheese number 2. This is
a beautiful soft ripened little ditty from Marin French. It's a petite creme. We love, in our family, we love soft ripened cheeses. These are aged from the outside in.
If you've ever had Brie or Camembert, you've had it, you see that white mold.
Oftentimes a cheese like this will have beautiful cream line, this sort of room temperature butter texture, and then on the inside of it, it'll be chalky center. This is a kind of a play on a Brie style. They've won tons of awards for this cheese, and they're based out of California.
Out of Sonoma County. Petite creme is the smaller version of their triple creme, which I love. World of Cheese, I'm learning something all the time. And I just learned that their triple creme has twice beat out all the French cheeses in the World Cheese Awards for the best triple creme, which a triple creme has to have over 75% butter fat in the solid matter. So you can taste that creamy, velvety lusciousness on your palate.
So good.
Yeah, I don't even really feel like it needs to be sold. I wish
Enjoy it.
there's more to cut out again.
If you haven't already finished it, you probably will in the next 5 minutes. It's that good.
I did break a little rule. So normally I'd say like stay with your whites. It's definitely going to go with your white. But one of my favorite reds ever is a Lambrusco. It's an Italian wine, and it's both a red wine and a sparkling wine. Why did I pick this? Because the sparkles, this cheese is so
palate coating.
Thank you. It's so dense on your palate that the bubbles the effervescence will pick those fats up off your palate, aerate it for you, give it the sensation of even more flavor, and cleanse your palate and take it back.
Almost got the feeling of peanut butter.
Yeah, and normally I think reds overpower these younger cheeses, but because this is a triple creme specifically, it's going to play beautifully together. Okay.
Awesome.
Number 3,
Great choices.
We're going to a cheese. This is Riley's. Oh, we have a double stack.
We have a double stack. I think
Dalmatinets.
with the prosciutto.
All right, I'll let you talk about this Croatian cheese.
Yeah, I love these cheeses. So we first found this cheesemaker. I was researching, and Pasky Sirana, the cheesemaker, won a bunch of one of world's best cheese one year. This is a small cheesemaker. They're sheep. Actually eat the vegetation on the Isle of Pog. It's a very kind of inhospitable area. In many ways, these plants that are have to be working so hard to survive create amazing food, which then creates amazing flavors in these cheeses. And the Dalmatinets is made in the same style as Pasky Sir, their other 100% sheep's milk cheese. This one is a blend of cow and sheep, so they can actually, sheep only produce milk a handful of months every year, and so this allows them to be making cheeses year round. It is wonderful. And then we pair
also, I learned to make 1 wheel of Pasky Sir, which is the all sheep's milk version. It takes the milk of over 12 ewes. That's crazy. Like 12 sheep in a row to make 1 wheel of cheese. As you said, that's seasonally. I like the addition of the cow's milk here. This one is actually 90% cow's milk, 10% sheep's milk, and they get the cow's milk from the mainland. And they've been making cheese traditionally for hundreds of years there.
It's amazing.
Yeah. We paired that we both just swallowed really quickly with the Creminelli prosciutto. And then I would actually, I'm like split again 50-50 on both of these wines.
Just try them with both. But Cristiano Creminelli is one of the kind of the fathers of the charcuterie movement here in the United States. He makes incredible products, from hard salami sticks to cigarette salami sticks to whole muscle like this prosciutto, and just melts on your mouth, and along with that sort of caramelly flavor profile of the Dalmatinets, it goes incredibly well.
Yeah, you're right. Okay.
Now we're on the Riley's 2x4.
Riley's 2x4. This is from Vermont, from Blue Ledge Farm. I cheated and took a bite because, surprise, this is my first bite of this cheese ever. This is also why we love Cheese Club, is we get to bring in cheeses that we haven't had before. So go ahead and give it a bite. It's firm. This one's actually a little bit semi-soft. I got immediately the earthiness of it, and it's a natural rind cheese, but then it gave way to that buttery grassiness. It just kept evolving on my palate. Pro tip, cheese is always better at room temperature. This one, I think it would make all the difference. If you're eating this cold right out of the fridge, it's not gonna taste as nuanced than if you let this come to temperature. So if it's cold on your plate, hold off and come back when it's at room temp. Greg and Hannah, the couple behind Blue Ledge Farm, they met when they were young and studying culture and art in Italy, in Florence. Came back, bought a farm, and to this day, at 23, they started Blue Ledge Farm. Everything for them is about caring for the animals in the land. In fact, to fund their creamery, they put the land in the land trust so that it can never be developed on. They're also farmstead, again, meaning they have their own animals that they milk. And I was just looking online, and they are still artists to this day and have beautiful oil paintings of goats and farm life on their website. So go check them out. We don't get any kickbacks for that. If I haven't purchased it all, maybe we'll leave some for you.
And when I smelled this cheese for the first time, not just a couple days ago, very much an aroma of almost like horseradish. It doesn't have that flavor profile, but the smell is beautiful. It's kind of grassy and horseradishy. It's unbelievably wonderful.
Have we deprived ourselves of cheese lately? Because each bite I take, I'm like,
so
God, it's so good.
I know, I just freaking
Okay, so I said that I would love to pair this with both pickles and mustards. So what do? We put it with a mustard that has pickled cabbage or it has sauerkraut in it. So this is the Bohemian mustard from Old Brooklyn. A little goes a long way, so just a dollop will work. But man, I like them just together like that. But putting those two on a sandwich or making a grilled cheese with that. Ooh.
That sounds fantastic.
Okay.
These flavors are winning today. So then we're going to the blue, but you already ate your chocolate, so I'm gonna have to break it in half.
Look, you're eating the blue cheese and not the chocolate. Okay,
I'm
so
gonna make sure that
Stilton.
we share.
We have gotten to go. One of our goals is to not sell any cheese that we haven't seen being made or that somebody in our team hasn't visited. And that's because people can claim to be a lot of things these days, like, humane treatment, but without seeing it and seeing what that means to them, we want to feel good about selling those products. So one of the first trips we took, our daughter was 8 months old and our son was 2, and we went to Neal's Yard Dairy. They're world-renowned selectors and affineurs or cheese agers, or they take a young cheese and mature it into its perfect development so it tastes great. And we got to go on a cheese run with them of Northern England, and that means like we went to Colston Bassett Dairy, and in one day we tasted 100 different blue cheeses. You don't
just at that location, and we still had 4 other visits.
And they're not different cheeses. They're all this Stilton, but different batch makes from different days, or the first batch of the morning versus the last batch of the morning, and how the nuances change from there to there.
Each vat, basically, if a cheesemaker had 3 vats, we would taste each vat for each day for 30 days, and it was amazing. And we forgot that little note we mentioned earlier about eating some vegetables in between. But to process, we would each ate about 1.5 pounds of cheese that day of little bites, and it was amazing.
I don't know where you're going with this story right now, John, but let's take it back to the cheese.
Moving back to the cheese. This cheesemaker, we have fallen in love with the Colston Bassett. There's quite a few different versions of Stilton you can buy. Colston Bassett comes back to me as my favorite each time, and part of that is that there's really 2 types of blue mold. There's the ones that are intense and aggressive and spicy, and then there's these others that are kind of the cool blue.
I like to say the piquant ones, the spicy ones. I really wanted to slap John across the face, but I've never done that before, and we don't need to try it out 20 years in. So the spicy ones are like those really aggressive ones.
You can fake slap.
This is not that. This is that cooling flavor. It's more fudgy on your palate. And that's everything that Neal's Yard Dairy has worked with Billy Kevin, the cheesemaker, on for this. Trying to develop so it's not an aggressive blue. If people who don't like blue, I hope you'll give this blue cheese a try.
Cream and coolness. It's just amazing.
Yeah, we don't, if there's only 4 cheeses, we don't sometimes include a blue because we know it's a more polarizing one. So because there's 5 this month, we included it. Other things to do with your blue cheese, we like to make buffalo chicken salad or buffalo shrimp salads, crumble it on.
Stuff olives for martinis. Delicious.
I still see. Yes.
Yeah.
That's how my dry January is going. Yeah. What else?
Yeah. So it's one of the best cheeses. It does have a natural rind. You can see here. You don't need to eat that. You can try it. It's going to be very earthy and intense and very much cave-like. And it may offer some value when pairing with, say, the chocolate or the Lambrusco. But the showstopper is the cream on the inside of this. It's It's wonderful.
So we hope you've enjoyed our resolution to eat more cheese.
Eat more cheese.
We hope you stay with us on the journey to eat more cheese. February, I always forget to look up what our next month is coming up, because out of 14 years, we've tried really hard not to ever duplicate a theme, which is crazy. Most other cheese clubs we've seen, no fault to them, they probably want to make money, so be more sustainable. So they do their set cheese clubs. We try to pick different stuff every month, and next month is date night cheese.
Yeah.
And so I'm
okay,
excited
here
to
we
see
go.
how the team has interpreted what is like a date night cheese.
That sounds fantastic.
So we hope you'll
Well,
sign up for February. Give us feedback on these. Remember, eat your youngest ones first, so that'll be your CKC Fresh Chev, and then your Petit Creme. The other ones will last a little bit longer.
We're grateful for you. Thank you for being a part of the club. Those of you that are continuing on from last year, and those of you that are brand new, we're grateful. Reach out if you have any questions. We're here for you. As part of your membership, we want to be a full service cheesemonger for you. So let us know if you have any questions.
Please don't send any emails about how ridiculous we look in these hats. I forced John to wear one. And with that, we wish you a happy new year. Thanks for being a part of us in our mission to do good, eat good.
Woo!
Over and out.
All of the best.